Hey everyone, and welcome to Protecting Wildlife. Today I have an amazing speaker, and I'm so blessed by this person to say yes to be on this summit. And her name is Rita Groenewald. I hope I say her name correctly. So welcome, Rita. Please, welcome.
Thank you, Tanja. It's wonderful to be here and to be part of the summit.
Thank you so much. Please share, before you share who you are, I would love to share to you out there why I took Rita, that is from the organization that is called Root and Shoots globally. It's because when I saw the project and what the 4 very easy steps you're working with is to sign up, take actions, find a team, and create a company. Now what you call it, a project. And I think it's so easy, and you're working with young people, and I think also so important to take the young people and educate and inspire them how they can be inspiration for others to also be more aware about their own actions. And we need to really take good care of the young people so they can be more aware about the actions when they get older. And Rita, share a little about what is this organization about?
So Jane Goodall's Roots and Shoots is really, it's a grassroots youth action program where youth have a voice, they have a platform, and they feel that they can make small changes. And the power of Roots and Shoots is really because it's small changes that can be done in local situations. So it's for local challenges in communities, for animals, people, and the environment, and understanding the interconnection of it all. It's a program of the Jane Goodall Institute, and we have youth across 50 countries around the globe that are taking these actions. So even though it might seem like a small action, it's having a big collaborative effort because all the youth in Roots and Shoots are working together globally, even though they're doing local actions.
It's so amazing, and thank you so much. What is the 3 biggest threats you're facing in your work to inspire young people?
So because it's a lot of doom and gloom in the media, it seems like these problems are insurmountable. They are so big, and there's so many different problems for people, animals, and the environment. We see a lot of people feeling quite hopeless. There's also a lot of apathy. So people aren't really sure how they can start. And this hopelessness is something that we have to tackle.
And I also think that is so inspiration to hear that, to also to give hope to young people. So how do we give hope to other people? That is to be the best version of ourselves, to really show what way we can go in life, and also so important to show like our challenge in life and how we turn around, to really inspire young people so they get a little bit hope in their faces, what they're facing in life, with challenge, so they can really be an inspiration and go for what you want in life.
Absolutely. And so the way we overcome these threats is really by being able to give local youth the ability to find solutions to challenges that they have. And of course, if they can have a small action that has success, it gives them hope to do more. And I think it's also really important for everyone to understand that nature is very resilient. And so despite all the challenges that exist, if we just take small steps to protect the nature that's existing in your community, you can see it bouncing back quite soon. And this gives us, more hope and gives us more impetus to move forward again. And even endangered species can have a second chance if we work towards protecting what's left. So there is always hope.
There is always hope. And it starts with ourselves first, to really, what you call, make the ring in the water. I'm gonna forget the word for it, like make the
little ripples.
Yeah, exactly, ripple effects. So in that kind of challenge you are facing in your work, to really be a hope for young people, what skills, what are you using to really be a hope for young people?
So Roots and Shoots is a fantastic program because it's very, very flexible, And it did start in a very grassroots manner in Tanzania. And the flexibility and the adaptability of the program is the way that the youth can actually do anything, anywhere in the world, for something that they're passionate about. So we just need young people to identify something in their community that they feel very strongly about and get engaged with this challenge that they are seeing, do some research around what they think they can do. So they get engaged, they get some friends together, classmates, and we have youth from as young as kindergarten age through to youth that are no longer youth, but we are still young at heart. So Roots and Shoots is for everyone, and you basically look at what you can do as a group to take small actions. And action is very important. Once you've taken part in your campaign, it's also important to celebrate these small wins that you have achieved and build on that as you go forward.
Yeah, so true, so true.
And it's really important to understand that every individual can make a difference. No matter how small or how old you are, you can make a difference.
Yes, and on that point, I also want to share, like, to you out there that don't know it, I'm dyslexic and I'm coming from Denmark. And to be dyslexic and do not have my mother language is Danish, I have challenged to talk English, as you may have seen right now in this interview, and you can still make a huge change in just take the steps and be okay with making a few mistakes in your language. And you can always ask the other person, as I explain my life, to, can you please help me to say this word correctly so my brain can remember it, because my brain remember things differently compared to others because I'm dyslexic. Yes, in the beginning it was very challenging for me to really show myself with videos, and of course I get a lot of judgment. What I always remember is the animals and the people that's really working for animals, with animals, don't care about me and you to be perfect. They just need us to take some actions and learn from it and be okay to fail, because through failing we are getting stronger and we learn more deep in our mindset how to be a better version, or better to know the things on a deeper level when we really okay with failing.
And Tanja, I think what you say is so important, and thank you for sharing that, because I think it's something that's really, we're very passionate about, is compassion for other people and for the environment. And if you can't be compassionate towards other people, how can you show compassion for animals and the environment? Because it's all linked. And I think with your heart, you can definitely do a lot, and it doesn't have to be perfect to make a change.
No, it makes others people more, give other people a space to feel, give other people to be okay with their nervous. It make people okay with they are where they are in life. And I experienced that when I really try, like when I really show myself and make mistakes and sometimes forget the words because my brain sometimes shut off. It gives people the space to be okay and laughing, like have a joy. And it's also so important to have fun in it, in the actions we are doing.
Absolutely. And I think we're also connected in this day and age. You know, the world is becoming smaller with the internet. And there's such a big community of people out there that care. That's the important thing. And so through programs like this, we can connect, and through your summit, we can connect. And that's beautiful.
It is very beautiful, and I'm so blessed by it. So you have talked a little bit about it, what specific action you are taking to really make it more, what you call it, give people the time, what you call, give the people the opportunity to take the step, if you know what I mean. Like, what exactly are you helping people with to give hope? Because some people, when they're hopeless, I mean, people is, so for them is it is a challenge to really see the hope. So how can you really support a person in that moment?
So as an organization, we do have, you know, global campaigns that we try and provide a lot of information to people that are wanting to take steps but aren't sure. So there's a lot of daily lifestyle changes that we can start with. And it's always really good to start with something small that, you know, I can build on this, I've achieved that, and I can build on it. So, for example, one of our upcoming campaigns is called No Waste November. And we challenge people to try and eliminate as much waste as possible. So we have a lot of toolkits available, and this helps with, you know, ideas on how to compost or on how to reduce plastic that you bring into your home. And there are so many different actions that people can take, just small things. You might not necessarily be able to go vegan overnight, but you can start off with a small meat-free Monday. You know, if you look at the clothing that you purchase, is it using ethically grown cotton? Are we using, you know, ethically farmed cocoa and coffee? And it's really about doing research into things that are impacting the environment, people and animals, not necessarily even in our own country, but, you know, things like recycling mobile phones. It's so important because we often do things without realizing the impact. So as a consumer, we have a lot of agency. We can actually determine what big companies are doing by supporting or not supporting products. So it's about doing the research and doing small actions. And of course, we just need a little bit of guidance in our daily lifestyle. So a campaign like No Waste November gives us guidance on what type of things we should be looking at. For example, a small thing like palm oil. If we use sustainably sourced palm oil, it has huge impacts for our great apes, as well as the communities that are growing the palm oil. And as consumers, we just need to do a bit more research and start off with one thing. Don't take on everything. Start off with one small thing that you think, I can do this. And as a household, sometimes with children and, you know, other adults in the house, it's not easy to convince them. So start small with something, make it fun, take the win and build on that.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Like, take the small step and make it fun. And then also through the small step, we really can make a new habit, because as you know, a habit takes at least 3 months to really create and like the pattern, new pattern in the brain. And it's so important to have the small step, because when sometimes if you take a big step, like a big goal, and you're not completed it on time, you give maybe some signal to your brain, you're not good enough, you don't have what it takes. So the smaller steps really build your brain and build your mindsets and build your confidence, build your really like your hunger after to do more in a small step. And when you do small step, you will take bigger and bigger, because you create new pattern in your brain to really have the time, like have the opportunity to really take a big step.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And that's why we encourage the small local actions.
Yeah, exactly. This is a small step, like when you go out in the groceries or buy fruit and vegetable, first of all, with no plastic on, look at where it's coming from. Is it sustainable? If it's ecologic, is this what do you call it, fair trade? Like, really remember, as I said, put yourself in what is the different like brands, what you call like stamp mean. Yeah.
And it's really also about what are you passionate about? What are some of the topics that you would like to see a change in? Is it the local communities that are being negatively impacted, or is it the local animals as well? But of course, it's so intertwined, and that's what you will learn when you do the research into it.
That is so beautiful, and it's also so important to find something you burn for. In that point, it make it easier and more simple and light to make new changes in life.
Absolutely.
So with that knowledge you have now, Rita, through root and shoots, what do you really want to give to the audience to know about?
I think the biggest takeaway from, you know, learning about roots and shoots is really that, as I said, you don't have to be a very powerful person to make a change. Youth and all of us, we are all able to do this. We are able to take hands and stand together as a community across the globe and to be able to take action. And it's really important to be able to continue, grow and I love what you were doing earlier, being brave, challenge yourself a little bit and step out of your comfort zone. But I think the biggest thing is that we are a community, and it's really important to feel part of a community. We have a lot of disconnect from nature. We have a lot of disconnect from each other. And during the pandemic, it has been very, very hard for people to feel like they're part of a community. But I think it's also important for us to come together and to stand together and to learn from other projects. And so as a Roots and Shoots community, we do a lot of sharing of information of different projects that are happening around the globe and about some of the challenges that different communities are facing. And through that, we often learn that as human beings and as environments, even in different biospheres, there's so many similarities, even though there are differences between people. And it's really, it's wonderful to be able to stand together and to take action together.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I know you have shared 5 action steps before this interview, and you out there is so amazing. You are here and get new knowledge, and it's also so important to put some action on it. So our brain remember deeply through action, through commitment, where we really make the first step in the small changing. So Rita, what is the 5 action steps you really want to inspire other people to look at?
I would definitely encourage, again, the small lifestyle changes that you can accommodate easily and build on continuously. And of course, we do a lot of work in various habitats of animals, the biggest one being chimpanzees and protecting the habitat of chimpanzees in Africa. And a lot of other endangered species, of course, benefit from the protection of habitats through Roots and Shoots projects globally. But because our main focus in Africa is protecting chimpanzees, if this is something that your viewers would like to learn more about, there are a number of projects that are taking care of the habitats, as well as of chimpanzees in sanctuaries that have been rescued from various situations. And we can learn more about that on the Jane Goodall Global website too. So viewers can start off with taking daily actions. They can support chimpanzee projects and the habitat protection projects. And then, of course, the third action is to protect or to look at our Roots and Shoots groups that are in emerging countries and that perhaps need some support in the work that they're doing, and learning about these projects and ways that we can support them as well. And you'd be able to do so on our Roots and Shoots Global website. And then, of course, you could also have a look at joining Roots and Shoots. That's the most exciting part, because as I said, it's limitless. It's only up to your imagination what you can achieve with the Roots and Shoots group. And we are always welcoming, even if there isn't a established Jane Goodall Institute chapter in your country, there are so many ways that you can start a Roots and Shoots group, and many, many ideas that we can share with you. So we'd love to welcome more of you into our family.
And I love that. I love that. And you, if you go back to the newsletter, there is like all the links to all the sites, to what they are working with. So if you come to Africa, or if you choose one of the things Rita shared with you, there is the links about most of the things in there. And there was a worksheet about the 5 action steps where you can make some notes on your computer. Please, I will inspire you to not print it out, just make it on your computer and just tap it in there. So there's a worksheet. So there's the opportunity for you to tap it on your computer, because we need to save some paper where we can do it. Rita, if people think I meet some people who think it's very difficult to really start something. Some people love other people to start it, and these like follow them. This is like how different people is working. Some people just follow and create it. And so if some of them is seeing this interview and it's a little bit I really want to create a new campaign or create something in my community around root and shoots. How can you take that step?
So I think if it seems a bit intimidating to start
Exactly.
something new, we already have a lot of resources that we can share and share ideas of other projects, perhaps that have worked already. So if it's difficult to start something new, we definitely have a big community that is willing to help. And of course, we have many Roots and Shoots coordinators across the globe that would be able to help as well, particularly for any teachers or educators or parents. As we know, a lot of parents have become educators recently as well. We have many resources and toolkits that we can share, because we know sometimes it's difficult to come up with new ideas.
Exactly. Do your organization or do the organization create the group from people, or do people create the group by themselves?
So the idea is really sort of to get, friends and your community involved. So it could be a group of young friends that come together, or it could be classmates. It could be anything. And we have so many different types of groups that are different. There are adult groups, there are, elderly people that have got Roots and Shoots groups in their communities. So there's no fixed way that a group starts. As long as we have our hearts in it and you've got something that you're passionate about, you will be able to find people in your community that want to join you. And some of our groups are very small. Some of them are only 1 or 2 people that are doing big impacts. Other groups are, hundreds of children coming together to do it. There's no defined way of describing a group, as long as your passion is there and you're doing a small action in your community.
So beautiful. What is coming up in me is like, maybe you out there compare yourself to someone else, and it is okay for you to be there. And it's also so important for you to remember, when you take actions, it doesn't matter how many you are around in this group, as I see it, for over 100, or maybe you just one. You as a one person inspire your family, first of all, you inspire your friends. And sometimes it takes time for people to really take the step in to make a change. Then some people need time to think about it, feel about it, and see you to take the steps. So I will inspire you and hope for you to be like, jump in it and just keep going and reaching out to Root and Shoots if you feel it is a challenge for you to take the steps. Because maybe your family, your friends is in another group and don't want to make changes, don't want to think about the environment, don't want to think about the violence. There is people out there that is there. You as the first person in your network, healing and inspire your family in something and calling on something bigger. And one day, I promise you, I really believe they will see it and make some changes. It took my family 7 years before it really deeply supported my passion life and could see it, and are ready to make the change in life. So sometimes it takes time, and it's okay. Some people need a little bit of time. And as Rita is there and the other in the organization is always there for you, so you always have a team, so you will never be alone. So please reach out to them when you take the step in to create something in your community, or you have the need and the passion to create something, but you don't know what. This is start with the small step, as Rita also saying, start with a small step. For me, it started with a small step. At one point, just my life purpose was hitting me. I was like, whoa, I go to do that. So it takes time sometimes, and it's okay.
I agree, Tanya. And yeah, I think it's really important to find your passion, build on that hope, and just dive in.
So your main focus in Africa, what you like focus on, like in your projects, do you also have other projects around the world, or it's more like online, this like the campaign you're holding in November? do you also have something that is like live if people want to like feel the vibration, like feel the community?
Absolutely. So this is actually our 30th anniversary of Roots and Shoots.
Hey,
And
congratulations.
and it all started in Tanzania, and with only 12 high school students. And
Wow.
this year we're actually celebrating a few mini campaigns. So we've had our first campaign in the beginning of the year was Growing Together, which was really about building on small afforestation projects and planting projects and urban greening. And we then moved into Connect the Change, which tackled a lot of topics around plastic pollution and how that interlinks with, other problems, and also looking at people in the communities. We then went into World Chimpanzee Day and learning all about these amazing animals. And we're now in our last campaign for the year around our 30th anniversary, which is Voices from Our Earth, where we're learning about beautiful Indigenous people from around the world and the amazing connection that Indigenous people have had with our nature. And we'll also be celebrating International Peace Day on the 21st of September. Obviously, Dr. Jane Goodall is also a UN messenger of peace, and it's a very important day for us around the globe. So these are some of the types of campaigns that we've been celebrating, and we are going to be holding a very special award ceremony on the 17th of November, where projects from around the world are submitting their nominations for projects, and we'll be having 2 live broadcasts across 2 time zones. So we'd love to see a big audience taking part in the celebration for our 30th anniversary and celebrating the power of youth.
Oh, I love that. It's the power of youth. If I say that correctly, youth. And so, can people be volunteer in your Root and Shoots? Oh my God, that is not really in my mouth.
Didn't roll off so nicely that time.
No, it's not like. Can people be like volunteer in the organization if they want to like be a bigger part of it?
Absolutely. Every single Roots and Shoots office, every single Jane Goodall Institute office, there's so many different ways that you'd be able to volunteer. And again, if you pop onto our Roots and Shoots global website or the Jane Goodall Institute website, you'll be able to see where these offices are. And we are always welcoming volunteers with varied types of skills. Anything that you have is something that would add value. So any type of way that you'd like to volunteer or donate your time, there's so many different ways that you'd be able to make a difference and help the organization.
So beautiful, so beautiful. In the last thing, what do you want to share with the audience if there is something you really want to leave them with?
I think, again, to look at the whole ethos of Roots and Shoots and the way it was founded by Dr. Jane and those 12 high school students, it's really just that there's always hope and that you as an individual have the power to make a difference. Every individual makes a difference and every individual counts.
So true. I have like a hope, like so what it would be very nice, I would think, is if you share a story from someone that has come in your organization that's creating this campaign. Like, have you interesting story for someone that have make a huge change in to take the step to create a campaign?
So I think, there's so many different campaigns and there's so many different projects that are happening. But to highlight a few, there's so many different reforestation projects across Africa, and this has saved a lot of the chimpanzee habitats. And sometimes it's being done with hardly any resources. So we're also seeing, in Tanzania, they've got mangrove projects where they're helping the mangroves to bounce back again. In Burundi, for example, they are making tree nurseries with not using plastic for the saplings. They're using banana bark that is being repurposed. So that's just amazing. In Europe, we have many young children that are planting massive forests. It's, as I said, the power of youth. And of course, we have projects in Asia that are doing amazing work in protecting also reforestation areas that they are involved with, and sometimes in difficult circumstances that youth are able to overcome. We have many different projects that are protecting endangered species. And, it's a simple thing of not sharing a post on social media or looking at, what type of images are you sharing. So as part of our Jane Goodall Institute Forever Wild, there are also many ways that you can learn about how you are able to help endangered species. And we have a number of Roots and Shoots group that work on these endangered species throughout the world. It's really difficult to highlight a few because there's so many good projects.
Oh, wow. I believe, I think there is no Roots and Shoots in Denmark, is it? Because when I find your in through Jane Goodall Institute, I was like, what? I have never heard about this organization, like that part of Jane Goodall. So of course, every organization, every message can be bright out or bigger to really get that message wider. So for me, I'm just like, when I saw your organization, Roots and Shoots, I was just like speechless, like, what? Why I have never heard about this? And when you're sharing that beautiful story, it really touched my heart. So how big and how bright you have become to really make a huge difference, to really create a hope. As you also say, the hope is there, and the nature can still be safe, and it starts with the small things in our daily life.
Well, thank you, Tanja. And I think it's an amazing opportunity to get our word out there to your audience today as well. And I think as I said, it all starts with these small actions. And, maybe you'll be our first Roots and Shoots member in Denmark. We have so many different groups in Europe that it's hard to pinpoint all these projects now, but it just takes one person to spark an interest and to start something big.
Yeah, true. And also be a big part of something bigger. And I also like, maybe you out there want to create something new. I was there in 2001. I was like, I want to create something new that's never been seen before. And as I see now, I've learned now, you can go together with organizations, Roots and Shoots, and really get your ideas out that way, and also help, because we need to be a community. We need to support each other. And there's also the part of this summit is getting together. The organizations also getting together, share some tips and tools, so we can inspire others, organizations inspire each other, and need to like have this as a platform where the message can be shared out to many. So we really can share together as a unit. As I see you in your organization, in the organization Roots and Shoots is doing, that is like unbelievable, so beautiful. To really be open also to me when I'm new and starting to say welcome to me. That is like a huge blessing for me. And maybe you others have seen me be nervous, because I have been nervous in this interview. I will just say I have been nervous to talk. This is the first time in the interview I've been nervous. So still, it's okay for you out there to be nervous. And I really hope Rita and me, we can inspire you to take the step and just take the step and lean in us and see it is okay to not to be nervous and to wumble in the words.
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, just don't worry about, is this perfect?
Yeah.
Just start doing something, and something that you're passionate about, and the rest will follow.
Yeah,
And that's
so
the
true.
power of roots and shoots. It's just, as long as your heart is there and you're doing something positive, you can't really go wrong.
No, so true. This has really have been the big blessing to have you here, Rita, in this summit, Protecting Wildlife. NGO Summit is a blessing in this. And I'm just speechless. I was like, whoa, the words is not sitting in my brain right now. I'm huge proud, and I'm so happy for you're here. I'm just very thankful for it. So thank you so much for sharing your message and take the time to be here and give it to the audience that see this here. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much for what you're doing and for bringing people together, Tanja. It's all about all of us coming together. So thank you very much for the opportunity to share our roots and shoot stories with your audience.
You're welcome. You're most welcome. And thank you so much. And please take care and have an amazing day.
Thank you so much.
And to you, audience, before you're leaving, go back to your newsletter. There is like the 5 action steps. There is all the links about root and shoots, projects in Africa, and also other exciting things, a link, a video. So you have like everything's connected together in that. So please, after this, take the time, half an hour, to look through the links, writing some notes in the Word document. So, and choose one thing you're committed to do, and reach out to Rita. You're also welcome to reach out to me if you need some support to take the step in the commitment, and we need to be hooked in the commitment so we can take the first step in changing. This is there, the changing happen. This is the commitment after you get the information. So please take the chance and take the choice to make a commitment after this interview. Yeah, and I'll say, see you later, guys. I have an amazing day. And bye, Rita.